I made a choice and I chose healthy. When I made a choice, it made me wealthy. You have a choice. Will you choose healthy? Choosing healthy with Monica.
Always get your doctor's approval before embarking upon a ketogenic intermittent fasting and or exercise regimen. Information shared on this platform is not a substitute for professional, medical, nutritional, or exercise advice. This is for motivational, informational, and educational purposes only. Great day. This is Choosing Healthy with Monica Carolee, and I'm so excited that you are here today. You just don't know how long I've waited for this moment. To share my story and how I lost weight during the pandemic. I don't know about you, but this has been interesting times. And when the quarantine happened earlier this year, I was at a loss for words, honestly, because I was in the midst of trying to juggle virtual learning in the midst of every other project that I was dealing with. But one thing that I decided was that I was going to put myself first and that I was going to come out of this pandemic better than when it started. So before I go there, because I know that's why you've come to find out how did I get to my 70-pound weight loss during the pandemic. But let me just go ahead and start from the beginning. I was born in 1977 in Charlotte, North Carolina. And the doctor told my mother when I was born, do not give her, guess what the doctor said? Do not give her sugar. But guess what? Somehow, some way, I still got sugar. One of the main ways that happened was because my father was a pastor. And of course, I was a PK as a result of that. And people would always give me candy. There was always a church mother that would adopt me, or a deacon or a trustee that would give me a piece of peppermint or whatever, gum or what have you. And there were people that would bake pies for us, cakes for us, cookies. I mean, you name it, food, meals, everything. And I thank God for every single person that ever gave to my family. I'm so grateful for that. However, because I received all of that, it set me up on a trajectory where I began to gain weight. And by the time I was 7, 8 years old, I started gaining weight little by little. Every dance class that I was in, I was the chunkiest one. Every school I was in, I was one of the heavier ones. And, it definitely took a toll on me, on my self-esteem. I could sing, but oh, that girl over there, she chunky. I always heard something about my weight. But I pushed through that. And eventually I began to work on, trying to get healthy. I tried every diet known to man. I'm not even going to sit here and try to name every single diet I've tried because you tried them too. So you already know what the deal is. But, I would try them and I would lose weight, a little bit of weight, and then I might lose a lot and then I gain it right back. And sometimes, and then somebody brought some friends with them whenever I would gain the weight back. And I went on, to college. I was still staying there and I would still gain weight, still was holding on to that weight. And the heaviest that I ever got was 269 pounds. And even when I was in high school, I was in my 200s. And so it's been a lifelong battle, I would say, the challenge of my life, to lose weight. And so even though I would go to the gym, in college, it just was never enough. And I remember the doctor telling me, oh, you need to eat 6 meals a day. And, that'll help you keep your metabolism going. And I'm like, this is not working. I'm sitting here busting my butt at the gym. I'm eating 6 meals a day, little meals. I'm eating low fat, vegetables and, carbs or what have you, whatever, right? And eating all the diet foods, Slim Fast, what have you, right? And nothing was working. It was not sustainable. And so anyway, eventually I graduated from college and got married, started having children. And after you have kids, the weight begins to pile on even more. And after my second child, his name is King Cars, after I gave birth to him, I knew I pretty much hit rock bottom as it relates to my weight. I was at that 269 point, and I knew that I was going to have to make a change. And it got so bad that I literally could not walk. I could not hold my brand new newborn baby in my arms and walk. I had to literally sit down and hold him. And that was a breaking point for me. I was like, you know what? I got to change. And that's one of the first things. I'm going to continue my story, but I want to just stop there and say this, is that when you start your weight loss journey, the one thing that you have to solidify is, what is your why? And so my why became that I wanted to get healthier. I wanted to live long so I can be able to play with my son and not be tired and not, or not be able to play with him, and my grandchildren. I added them onto it, and shoot, let's go ahead and throw in the great grandchildren. I want to be vibrant, alive, able to be active and healthy, and, being able to engage with them on every level. And so I made that decision. And so that began my choosing healthy journey. And so I actually had to wait until after I was done breastfeeding my son. Thank God that ended. He was born in 2012. So in 2013, I began my choosing healthy journey. And so what I initially did is I just cut out everything that was white. I cut out sugar, I cut out flour, cut out bread, I cut out pasta, potatoes, everything white, everything that was a carbohydrate, starchy carbohydrate. And at that time, I didn't have a name for it. I didn't call it keto, low carb, nothing. I just knew I was cutting out everything that was white, because it was those things that was causing not only my weight to go up, but also my blood sugar levels. In fact, I was literally on borderline diabetic. And I said, oh no, this is not happening. I'm going to break this curse of diabetes in my family. And I made the decision. I was like, God, I need you to help me to make changes so that I can change the trajectory of my bloodline and be able to teach my children the healthy way to eat. And so, anyway, I started that process, and within 6 months, I lost 63 pounds. And that was amazing. It was an amazing journey. I went on news stations. I went touring different places and just telling people about what I did. And I started at that time my blog, my health and wellness blog, that's still going on today, where I educate people on health and wellness, on living low carb living, exercising, self-care, and all of that, and go and do talks and things of that nature. And so I started that journey in 2013, and also have a Facebook group where we get together and, share recipes, keto recipes, and where I share motivation and any research that might have come out about various, fasting or intermittent fasting or keto, what have you. And so it's been great to have that support along with me on the journey. And so I decided that I would expand. And so that's why I've started this Choosing Healthy with the Monica Curley channel, especially now in the pandemic. This has really become a serious time, especially for African Americans, because of the comorbidities that tend to happen with African Americans. We are being disproportionately affected with the coronavirus. And so if we can begin to work on those underlying issues that we experience as a community, we can come out of this pandemic better. So that's just an aside, and I just wanted to share why I have this urgency to go ahead and start this channel. So back to my journey. So I, lost that weight, the 60 pounds, what have you. And then it wasn't long, about 2 years later or so, I ended up having to have my thyroid taken out. My thyroid literally had polyps all over it. And it was to the point where the doctor said that my throat was going to close up and I wouldn't be able to breathe. And so I had to have surgery to have it removed. And so I'm not sure if you know, but your thyroid is your metabolism mechanism. And so as soon as they took my thyroid out, I began to gain weight. And I was like, oh my goodness, what is really going on? And the doctors tried everything. I tried every type of thyroid medication. And finally, I was able to get on Nature Thyroid. and that began to get normalized. But anyway, I ended up having an accident probably a year after that, and I started grad school, and that immobilized me for a little while where I couldn't exercise. And so the process of that and being in grad school, getting my master's in social work, was a very stressful time for me. And again, I began to see the weight creep up to the point where I had gained all the way up to 250 pounds. And by that time, we had moved to Atlanta, Georgia. My family stepped out on faith. We left Charlotte, North Carolina, where I'm originally from, and moved to Atlanta, Georgia. And once we got settled, I said, okay, it's time to get back on track and to lose this weight. And so in January of 2020, this year, after studying for months for the licensure exam for social workers to become a master social worker in the state of Georgia, and I did pass, thank you, Jesus, I could then focus on my health journey. And so me, along with my two of my closest friends, Adeline and Latanya, we made this decision that we were going to hit 2020 hard, that we were going to hit the ground running, and we weren't going to allow anything to keep us from meeting our goals. And so we did that, and we set up this accountability network, and we've done that, and we've been supporting each other on this path. And so in addition, with the group that I have on Facebook, I said to them, I said, you know what, we've got to make a declaration that we're coming out of this pandemic better than when we started it. Let me say that one more time, because that was good. I felt that. We are coming out of this pandemic better than when it started. If you believe that, go ahead and say that right now. Declare that for yourself. And so I declare that for myself. I'm coming out of this pandemic better than when I started it. And so I dug in, I zeroed in, and what I did, and I know this is the part that you've probably been waiting for, is how did I lose the weight? So when I decided I was getting back on track, I told you I was at 250. And as of today, I am under 200. So I have literally lost 70 pounds to get to my 70-pound weight loss goal. And I'm super excited because this is the first time in my adult life that I've ever been under 200 pounds. And I told my friends, I said, my goal for 2020 is to get to Wonderland. And that's, in the 100s, under 200. And so by the grace of God, I have reached that goal. And I'm so grateful. And I just wanted to share with you guys that it is possible, that you don't have to accept what has happened to you in the past. I know. That maybe you've tried and failed in the past, but guess what? Today is a new day. And don't allow the past to get in the way of your progress. I call it moving faith forward. We're faith forwarding it. We're not looking back. If you spend so much time looking back, you can't look forward. And so what I did was I committed to a ketogenic life, low carb life, eating. My macros are structured where I eat 75% healthy fats. I eat 20% protein and 5% carbs. And I intermittent fast daily. At least 16 hours a day I fast, and I have an 8-hour eating window. Sometimes less, depending on what I'm working towards. And I make sure I get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep daily. That is extremely important, because when you don't get adequate sleep, the cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone, starts to rise. And as a result of that, you begin to hold on to fat. And so that's not what you want, especially in the midsection. When you're stressed out a lot, you'll have a pretty thick midsection. And so if you can work on reducing that stress and getting the sleep, that would help tremendously. And so speaking to that stress, self-care is another aspect that is huge and that I make sure I pay attention to. And so one of the things that I've done is that I started growing my own food. And that has actually been a double whammy for me in terms of benefit. Not only growing my own food at home through a patio garden, which I will share later some footage from my garden. And hopefully it'll motivate you to start even growing your own food, whether you're in an apartment or at home. You can have a patio garden, and it doesn't require you to break ground or anything or have ground. All you need is a patio and these planters. So I started growing my own food. And so that's been very helpful. I can literally walk out my door and grab fresh fruit off the vine. And what the double benefit of that was is that it's a stress reliever. It actually is, I actually get joy from gardening. I never thought that that would happen for me, but it has. And I get to be out in the sun, get that vitamin D, get the fresh air, and it's just an amazing experience for me. So you have to find, what is that self-care piece for you? Maybe it's meditation for you. Maybe it's prayer for you. Maybe it is reading a book. Maybe it's singing a song. Maybe it's listening to relaxing music. Maybe it's dancing, So there are various things that you can do for self-care, even going to counseling. Are there some things that maybe you need to work through that's causing you stress? So talking to someone would be a good idea, maybe to help you work through those things so you can move past it and move forward. And the other piece is the exercise. I get at least 10,000 steps a day, and my goal some days is to get 20. So as long as I get that activity between 30 to 60 minutes per day, that's the goal that I've set for myself. And those things working together helped me to achieve my goal of getting to Wonderland during the pandemic. So I'm so super excited to share this story with you. And in future episodes, we'll go more in depth about what that looks like practically, and what it means from a research standpoint, and how you could possibly implement some of these strategies in your life to become healthier and to lose weight if that is your goal. When I say choose healthy, I'm not just talking about losing weight. I'm talking about getting healthier overall, body, soul, and spirit. And so I'm so glad that you're on this journey with me, and I hope you'll stay on this journey with me, because it's my heart. It's truly my heart to empower, educate, and motivate you to choose healthy. And that's to make decisions that will eventually work out for you to be a healthier individual. And I'm so excited about this process that we're on. And I, again, hope that you will join me next time. And so now we're going to go into our garden segment. And in future episodes, I will share some motivational songs that will help you. I will share some live cooking demonstrations of how to cook low carb, healthy food. I will continue to show gardening footage, as well as having interviews with some health experts and the like. And I'm also offering the opportunity to do some one-on-one coaching with me. So if you're interested in taking your health journey to the next level, you need that motivation and that accountability, I am here for you. And so you'll find out more information about that later in this video, and you can look in the show notes and find out information about that as well. But if you would, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the notification button, click like, and please share this with your friends and family. And I look forward to the next time. Thank you so much. Welcome to the gardening segment of this video. I wanted to share with you my garden and let you know just how easy it is to set this up yourself. As you can see, I have a patio garden, and I use planters. These are called patio planters. You can get these from Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, and you can find them online as well. I actually really love some of the planters I've been seeing online that are raised planters, especially if you have a problem with bending down. You can get some raised planters that are high up, where you don't even have to bend over to, tend to it. So, but these are my patio planters, and I have 5 of them total, as you can see. Yep. And so in this planter, I have peppers. I have habanero peppers, as you can see. I have a good number of those that are growing. I have some snackable bell peppers. They turn red. And then I have some green bell peppers. These are the long variety. As you can see, there was several of those on there. And then I have full-size red bell peppers, which right now there's only one that is on there now that I can see, and there's some babies that are coming. So my pepper plants have been doing very well. I initially started my garden actually on Mother's Day weekend, And so it's really been a blessing to have my own food at home. I can just literally go outside of my door and come out here and, garden. And then I have my heirloom tomatoes. As you can see, I got some little babies that are coming here. And there's a bigger one. And I have several on the back side of the vine. As you can see, they're in the process of ripening at this moment. And then I have some tumbler tomatoes. They're doing exceptionally well. As you can see, I have plenty of little green tomato babies on here. And then this right here is my cucumber vine that I have growing vertically on a trellis with a lot of blooms. So looking forward to getting more cucumbers. I also have bunching green onions that I keep in this pot, and whenever I'm ready to do some stir fries or whatever recipe may call for green onions, I just come outside and grab it. And then over here I have squash. In fact, there's a baby growing in there right now. So excited. And my jalapeno plant, it is really big. In fact, it's actually, I believe, a hybrid or something. I don't know what happened, because it's literally on this side there are jalapenos on this side, and then on this side there's like a longer pepper. So I thought that was really interesting that could occur on the same plant. And then I have a cowhorn pepper plant here, and I'm actually I bought this baby the other day to try to see if I can bring it back to life. I took off all the dead leaves, and literally there were no leaves on it, like maybe 2 or 3. And so now they've multiplied and got green leaves growing. So I'm hoping that I can rehab this plant that I bought and see what happens. I'm in the process of waiting for my local nursery to get some fall crops in stock, because I do want to plant some more stock that can grow throughout the fall and winter time. So I'll keep you posted on that. But yeah, this is super easy. You just go to Lowe's, grab a patio planter, get some organic dirt and some organic feed, like some fertilizer, and just start growing, man. Just, water it, let God water it through the rain. You come out and check on it, and all that good stuff. And of course, if you need any help with this process, with like a consultation with me, I'll provide a link in which you can set up that appointment with me to talk about gardening. But let's do it, guys. Let's grow our own food as much as possible. This is a part of my choosing healthy journey. I decided that I was going to only eat whole foods, organic, non-GMO foods. And so this is one of the ways that I'm getting that. And then, of course, when I go to the store, I look for those non-GMO organic options. Well, anyway, have a great day, and thanks for tuning in. Please support my mission to empower, educate, and motivate others to choose healthy through this platform. You can do that by going to patreon.com/Monica Akerele. Your support will help advance this mission to get this message spread across the United States and beyond. Also, if you're interested in signing up for one-on-one coaching with me, I am accepting new clients. So sign up by clicking the link in the show notes as well to set up an appointment with me, and I'll be happy to help motivate you on your choosing healthy journey. Lastly, please follow me on my blog at monicaakerele.com and on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Those links are provided in the show notes as well. I just want to thank you again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you on the next Choosing Healthy with Monica Akerele video. Make today great and healthy. Let's get it.
Choosing healthy with Monica.